I would like to know how many people try to make money from influencing versus how many do, like what that percentage is. I don't know. Let these influencers do what they would organically, naturally do, and that's how you get the most bang for your buck. No ads, okay, big deal. That's called what Instagram was to begin with. Hey guys, Ryan Alford, your host of the Radcast.
You're listening to the Radcast.
If it's radical, we cover it. Here's Ryan and Reiley.
Here's your host, Ryan Alford.
Guys, what's up? Welcome to the latest edition of the Radcast, weekly marketing and advertising news. It's Friday, April 23rd, and we're coming to you live from the Radcast studio in the home of Radical, the baddest, coolest, greatest digital ad agency on the planet here in Greenville, South Carolina. I'm joined by my co-host, Reiley Clark. What's up, Reiley?
Hey, I'll be honest, I'm tired.
Wake up!
We had a really great week, but it was a long week in some ways. On Tuesday, we had a really long shoot, and it was a really great shoot, and I think it's going to be a really cool product. I'm sure you probably are going to talk about it in some, capacity, but so I'll let you handle that. But needless to say, it's a very long day.
It was a long day.
Yeah, in the best way, but it's left me a little tired.
Yes, a friend of mine, Marvin Yvette, he's got a new album coming out, and we did a little pet project for him, doing all his artwork and producing, directing, and everything else here at Radical. His music video for his upcoming release, Soul of a Pirate. So more to come on that. I would say a cross between Jimmy Buffett, Kenny Chesney, and throw in, I don't know, somebody else. You know, but he's definitely got a country side to him. He's got a real deep voice, Kenny Chesney-esque.
It's raspy.
And then he's got that playful, tunes and songwriting, a little bit of Jimmy Buffett.
Mm-hmm.
So,
his energy is awesome. His energy is just incredible. It's gonna be cool. I'm excited.
Cool. Yeah. So he produced it in Nashville, where he's actually pretty well known. He's written some songs and was on some groups there that did really well several years ago, and he's been writing a lot of songs and plays a good bit. We've become friends, and we're lake buddies with our doc, and we're actually on the dock shooting the music video for him. So I think it's going to be a great product, and I think for his market, it's going to be a nice little play for him and get some more notoriety, and spread the word. But it was kind of a little bit of a detour for us in the week. We went out there and shot everything, but it's been cool. It's fun to get those kind of projects here and there, from the everyday stuff and helping friends out. But it's been a good week at Radical. We've been busy, and the phone won't stop ringing.
Yeah.
It's been good.
Yeah.
A lot of positive energy on new business fronts and lots of new business clients and opportunities. And it's been great. We've added some new staff, had some new teammates and things like that. So, and still planning office furniture for the patio.
I know, it's still an ongoing thing.
Not that you really care out there, wherever you're listening, but we are. Send us some office patio furniture ideas.
Yeah, honestly, or can we make it some way? Get a hold of Ace and maybe do something different.
Yeah, I know. Ace Hardware. We haven't said anything negative about them, have we?
No. We said all positive things last week on the news about them. Yeah. You really get on Coke, I swear.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but no, it's been a good week. I'm excited to give you guys our news topics today. But I think before we talked about this little pre-episode, but I think before we kind of get into the nitty gritty of the topics today, I think it's kind of important to set up a little bit about the topics, a little bit about the ad data that we're kind of seeing take place, obviously through the year of COVID and what's happened to ad platforms. I'll let you take the lead here.
It's influencer marketing has really started to boom. You've seen the increase in that in budgets, where it's now actually the largest share of digital ad budgets. So in the total digital ad budget pie, and you've got search and display and social media ads, influencer and content driven influencer marketing is actually right at 20%. And so super big, super huge portion of it. And another thing is, from an overall standpoint, we've already are up 25% in overall ad spending this year. So you're seeing, like there was, when COVID hit, the ad budgets just tanked last April. And you've seen not only a full turnaround, but the data shows that we are at the highest point of any March in the history they've been measuring it. So not only is it turned around from COVID, but it's turned around from all spending. And some of that's like pin up savings, you could say. They've had the budget, like certainly revenues have gone down some last year in certain industries. So maybe they had the dollars saved up. So that's why you see the overspend now. But I think it's more a product of the economy really roaring back. And I think you're seeing the ad budgets come along with it. But a lot of the topics that we have for the news today are in that influencer space. And I think you're going to start to see, well, what happened was in the COVID era, all the brands were nervous to talk about heavy selling. And so they wanted to use, influencer marketing is really more of a top of funnel tactic, meaning it's more of a brand play. It's not an immediate sometimes, yeah, they can have a promotion code. They can have things that can drive immediate sales. But a lot of times that content marketing and influencer marketing is really more an awareness, top of funnel tactic. And with COVID going on and no one wanting to go buy right now, and you saw more spinning towards that. But I think you're going to see that carry forward because of just the authenticity factor of having these brand ambassadors and things like that. I think it's just becoming more poignant, more relevant, especially with ads, dollars and cookies going away, different things like that. You're just going to see brands expanding, I think, upon those influencers. And, at the end of the day, this stuff has been going on forever. Like it was called word of mouth back in the day, and the men and women with the biggest mouths always spread the word more. And they were always kind of influencers, so to speak. There just wasn't the channels of social media with which the megaphone could be turned on. And so the more things remain the same, the more things, they say more things change, more things remain the same. It's not so much a new phenomenon of word of mouth. It's more just the channels and varieties of ways that these things can be amplified. And you're going to see a continued evolution, I think, for how influencers do this organically. We talked about some of that stuff, a couple weeks ago with product placement and these brands doing things that aren't heavy sells, like content and things like that. They're going to see that same evolution with influencers and subject matter experts and all this stuff. And so the data is now catching up with the trends. It's the number one placement. You've got ad spending going up. You've got influencer marketing near the top of that for digital. And, as TV budgets come down and digital continues to dominate, you're going to see influencers thus even more. And some of us are probably, oh God, just another one. But, we say that, but I tell you what, I talk, my wife will sit there and watch these bloggers and everything. I mean, and I don't know if you're the same way. Like she never gets old to her. Like, she'll just watch them and they're relatable. I mean, I've sat there and like watched the video with her. I'm like, I get it. I see why you can relate to her. And, they're telling their whole life story and they're just spokespeople.
Yeah. Well, I like it too, because you obviously it's relatable and that's great. You need that point of connection with the person. But I think it's also you begin to trust what they talk. I mean, it goes back to the whole thing about trust. We talk about authenticity, but you begin to trust their opinions and trust the insight that they're giving you, because obviously you've seen it work already with other things you've done, taken their advice from, been influenced from them by whatever it has been. It has, clearly seen some sort of positive result for you. So I like the people that I follow. There are things about them that just make them feel very human, even on social media. And even though I'm probably never going to meet these people in my life, but I feel like I know them. And I appreciate just the transparency about their lives, and it does create that friend level without it feeling like do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I appreciate that, but this is why this is just going to keep going.
It is. And I think if you're a small to medium business out there, it's always like, well, that makes sense. You're going to get this beauty blogger and she's got 100,000 followers and she's doing this, but she wants $5,000 post and I can't afford that or whatever. Micro influencers are very attainable for small to medium businesses and completely still untapped. Some of the, smaller business startup D2C e-commerce brands are tapping into them, but every other industry is completely untapped. I mean, think about from lawyers to doctors to chiropractors to plumbers to and in some ways this is done through reviews and through those types of things. I think these industries have gotten better about leveraging reviews on their website and doing things like that. But I don't think they've taken it far enough. The opportunity is out there for finding these micro influencers that might have 2,000, 3,000 followers, maybe even potentially even less. Someone has 1,500 followers and they're the right followers for what your business is. You're hyper targeted within a certain geography. You could be paying this person $50 to $75 a post, and that's like better advertising than you could be in the old Yellow Pages or some crappy trade show that you're in, or journal, business journal. Not all business journals are crappy, but like something that's just so high funnel, maybe someone will read this and maybe they'll think of you in 3 months. But that opportunity is out there and there's tools to do that. Maybe we'll break down some of those tools on an episode. Maybe we'll do one about just a micro influencers episode.
Yeah, we'll put that in the works. We'll put that in the works.
Cool. Well, here's Reiley with all of this week's news.
All right. So again, this is kind of hitting our influencer market. Just to give you some examples of what's going on in the real world. Simmons Mattresses is teaming up with Damelio Sisters. And if you're not familiar with Damelio Sisters, they are I would consider them like the OG TikTok stars. Like they are the, original content creators on TikTok that just kind of exploded. And, since then they've seen huge, you've seen them on several campaigns. They were at the Jake Paul wrestling tournament that happened the other day. I always, whatever, what I'm talking about. Whatever that was. But anyway.
Entertainment.
Yeah. But, that's going on. And essentially this company is teaming up with them to promote the mattresses. A lot of Gen Zers and, younger millennials are spending a lot of time just chilling on their bed, whether they're going through TikTok and they're on their bed or when they're working from home, they are working primarily from their bed. Apparently they did this study and, all this information came back, yada, yada. So apparently this mattress is like prime
for being worked on.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like,
what kind of work are we doing here?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of a weird lens to take a mattress promotion, but whatever.
I can think of some taglines.
Yeah, exactly. So
who are these Damelio sisters?
Yeah, exactly. No, that's funny. No, but so that's just kind of going on, but this just shows the example and the leverage you can use from influencer marketing and tying it to your brand's message. So that's like the point of this, right? Like you can have your influencer marketing and it's pointless though, I think, and I think you would agree, it's pointless to have some random influencer that has nothing to do with anything that stands for your brand promote something about your brand. Like it has to make sense. Like they have to have a connection, right?
Yes. And I will say though, Simmons Mattresses historically is not like, even though it's a mattress, I wouldn't consider it like a sexy brand, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's a mattress, you know, like there's, you know, Purple, maybe not sexy, but funny, like some of the newer D2C mattress brands, you know, and, you know, Tempur-Pedic, you know, you think of comfort or luxury or whatever. Simmons is like, I think of it as, you know, the infinity of mattresses. Sort of luxury, maybe not quite uber luxury, but nice and above, like, you know, whatever, just to give an analogy. That's just my opinion. That's where they fall on my brand, like Ryan Alford's brand meter for Simmons mattresses, somewhere above the middle, but not at the top as far as luxury goes and things like that. Still nice. I'm sure there's somebody's going, but they have $7,000 mattress. They're definitely luxury. Well, whatever. Generally speaking,
not the point.
middle of the road. But the point is, a brand like Simmons can reach out. They have kind of a, you know, ho-hum brand perspective, like it's a mattress, and hire influencers that make sense for what their product is at this given time in the pandemic and the research that you just outlaid, and suddenly be relevant to a target audience. The power and the ability to do that is unheard of. It's just never been as attainable. That's what these influencers do for brands, is immediately get them top of mind with a demographic that Simmons would have no business even having a discussion with, you know? But when done through the lens of the Damelio Sisters, oh, okay. You know, like, people know it's an ad, I'm sure. But like, at least it has relevance. It's based on that insight that people are home, spending more time on the bed, working on the bed, and immediately adds credibility to the brand. And so it's just powerful stuff. It's smart for the brands to be doing this and to be considering it, especially when they do it thoughtfully. You know, I have no idea what the metrics are of success from this, but I have a feeling it's putting them in a different brand position than they've been in the past.
Our next topic is similar kind of lens. EOS, the evolution of smooth. I love that name, and I love that.
Evolution of smooth.
Oh yeah. So I'm actually a product of this, I will say, because I saw this original TikTok video. So this girl, this influencer, Killjoy on TikTok, which I think that's such a clever name for her name to be Joy. It's kind of funny. But anyway.
Is she like literally killing Joy?
You know, I'll be honest with you. I only saw the video about the shaving cream. I haven't really watched the rest of her stuff. So, but all that to say, you know, I think this is a really cool thing. Essentially, the shaving cream, you know, she made wildly known about just how great it was for sensitive skin, you know, razor bumps, all that kind of jazz.
Yep.
And, you know, how difficult it is, you know, for women to really get that really nice, you know, shave, whatever. Okay. All that to say.
We're going to just not go down that hole.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yes, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean. All right. Well, it's just fact. This is a fact of life, people.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Or if you're a male swimmer, you know, you need to shave for whatever your gender purposes are. You know, there you go. Yeah. This shaving cream, I will say, changed the game for me as well. I saw this, went to Target, got the shaving cream, and love it.
Did you learn about it from TikTok? Okay, from her?
Yeah.
So it works. See, it works.
Yes. And it also, now I'm just like, this is my go-to shaving. Like, I'm just like, this is my shaving cream. Like, tell my girlfriends about it. This is the stuff. But essentially, this shows you another way that you can leverage a TikTok influencer, because my understanding of this entire campaign is, you know, Killjoy was not an influencer who was approached from EOS. To then promote about the shaving cream. She was like, this is my shaving cream. I love it for these reasons. And EOS was like, okay, we're going to do a TikTok collab.
More of this.
That was my understanding of it. Was that
I think I've heard that too.
Okay.
I think I've heard that before.
But
that
this is another, exactly.
Where there'll be someone that has influence that talks about something unpaid, and then it gets some attention, and then brands grab on and go, all right, let's pour some gas on this. And they pay them and they expand upon the content. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, it's perfect example, especially with e-com, like stuff that's readily available could be purchased like on the instant. Like it makes a ton of sense. Like if you're a struggling brand, you need to change your brand awareness, like Simmons. I'm not saying they were struggling. I don't know their brand metrics, but like has a reputation. You want to change it. Here's on another level, e-com, direct to market, direct to consumer, and you can change the game in a second. Obviously it helps when you have innovative, great products and they're already using them.
Oh yeah.
But then, jumping on board, no different than the cranberry guy, surfboard,
exactly.
Like that was, I think, unpaid at first, wasn't
I think it was unpaid.
And then
it became a trend, and then they bought him a truck, and
yeah, exactly. So, you might, I would like to know how many people try to make money from influencing versus how many do, like what that percentage is. I don't know.
We'll probably get that data in a couple years.
Yeah, a couple of years, like only 0.001, kind of like you'd have better luck becoming an NBA star. No, it's probably higher than that. Especially micro influencers. That's the thing. You get paid to have an opinion, people, to post content, that's just another reason.
Have an opinion and stick to it. That's the thing. Like, be consistent in what you want to say, but have the understanding of why you're saying it, because someone's going to match with that. If that's your goal, is to, be this influencer that some brand's going to be able to match with you, you just got to stick to your mission.
And the biggest thing for like EOS or any of these brands, no matter, and I'm not talk people out of hiring an agency here. That's not good for a business, but just being honest, tell it like it is. These are ideas that the brand would never have come up with on their own. The way that Killjoy did these videos, the way she talked about it, the way she filmed it, the way all that is, that could not have even been concepted by the agents or the company or whoever. It's so organic. The organic nature of these things is unreplaceable. Now, it doesn't replace the need for other tactics, but as this tactic goes, it's going to supply you with a level of content that you couldn't even have done yourself. Not only the influence that they have, but the organic nature of it. Like, just because I've watched a couple of these videos and she's quirky and like, just, and it's like, you couldn't have even scripted that, and I think that's where brands succeed and where brands fail in influencer marketing. When they get a hold of an influencer and they guide it too much and you try to direct it, it loses the appeal. And the brands that let the influencers own the content, and yes, it's got to stay within some allowed of standards, like if you're Disney, you got to have some family standards and things like that. And I understand that, but let these influencers do what they would organically, naturally do. And that's how you get the most bang for your buck. And I think that's the learning lesson. That's the same thing. And I think small businesses has got hold of this, or they got influencers. They might even tend to want to be even more overbearing because they're, dollars probably smaller, less budget. So like, all right, just make sure you mention, that I do it this way. And, it's like, no, that's not how this works. They need to bring it up naturally within the conversation flow or doing what it is. It's obviously easier when it's a product like EOS shaving cream. It has a direct use benefit versus a service or something else that might be a little more convoluted. But, the real insight here is let the influencer build the content naturally.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Shifting gears slightly, Starbucks, if you go to Starbucks on the regular and you get oat milk in your coffee, you know where I'm going with this.
I saw this topic on our board and I'm like, I almost nixed it, but then I'm like, you know what? I want to have something to say about this. For one, I've never had oat milk, so.
Well, that's a shame,
and
first of all.
Everyone that likes oat milk, I'm not surprised there's a shortage because everyone's like, it's so wonderful. And I'm like, why don't you just get some heavy cream? Like, is it really that much better? Is it non-dairy? Is that why?
It's non-dairy.
So, but yeah, I like you some heavy.
You got to care about us non-dairy people, okay?
Heavy cream tastes delicious.
There are non-dairy coffee drinkers in the world. And I did appreciate.
Is it like one of the few things? Isn't it like one of the few things that has that kind of creaminess to it or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's why there's a shortage.
Probably. Well, here's.
Did you create the shortage? Do you have all of the oat milk secretly hidden in your condo here downtown Greenville?
Yeah, actually, my entire refrigerator is just stocked of oat milk.
Yeah.
No, so here's the deal. Okay, I have beef with Starbucks a little bit because they had not carried oat milk forever. I had never heard of Starbucks carrying oat milk until, if you'll remember this, the Super Bowl happened. And then I think it was March 6th or March 2nd, they announced Oatly is coming to Starbucks. And I'll never forget that day. I was like, wow, okay.
Was that the terrible CEO singing that I was like, that probably won the Super Bowl?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of my story here. I'm a Dunkin' coffee person.
Ding.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. But Dunkin' has always carried oat milk, which was, I never had an issue with Dunkin' because they've always had oat milk. Okay. So, then start going to Starbucks a little bit more because, my boyfriend prefers Starbucks over Dunkin'. And yeah, right.
Tastes like burnt.
See, that's kind of my opinion, but whatever, all good. So you can make the sacrifices because then when they announced they were carrying oat milk, the obvious thing was, okay, we can make compromises with Starbucks. Well, now there's an oat milk shortage, and not only that, they are also out of their only syrup that I liked, which is the brown sugar syrup. So this is
a double crusher for you.
It's actually tragic. So hence why I'm tired. No, I'm just kidding. So
how hard is it to manufacture oat?
This is my question. How did you not prepare? Like, you're telling me the biggest one of the biggest coffee retailers or whatever in the world, probably.
Oh, the biggest.
Yeah, okay. Takes oat milk and then doesn't think that their non-dairy customers are going to start requesting oat milk like religiously. Like, how did that not compute?
I don't know. They didn't plan, or maybe it was just.
Or is this a mission? Or is this a statement?
We're just trying to build up demand for it. Like there's secret shortage that's going to come back, and then everybody's going to want it. Yeah. I mean, I kind of want some like right now.
But see, everyone's like, it's this global shortage, and everyone's being so dramatic.
Can you buy oat milk at the store, or is it shortage in the store?
Thank you, because this is my second point. I dead ass went to Starbucks. They said no. I was like, all right, bet. Went to Dunkin' Donuts and they had oat milk. I was like, don't tell me there's a global shortage.
Sounds like a Starbucks issue.
Yeah, it's a Starbucks issue. It's not a global shortage. But my thing is, how did you not prepare?
They probably have like a set price or something. They can't buy it at that price, and they're not going to pay more for it.
But no hate on the Starbucks right here, because I love them and they're so sweet.
And they don't want to, like, they have so many locations. It's like if they can't have it at like some percentage of locations, they don't want to have it at all.
Forgive my ignorance, but how did you not anticipate that?
I don't know. Sounds like a campaign opportunity for Dunkin' Donuts, if you ask me.
Yeah. Dunkin'. Yeah. But what, I mean, other than, my personal issues with it, did you have thoughts about this at all? You said you had a topic or you thought.
Well, I just, I remember at least commercial from the Super Bowl and how terrible the CEO was, but then I thought it probably was very memorable, and it turns out it was from the neurology study that was done. And so, but no, more just wanted you to be able to talk about it because I know how much you like oat milk.
Dude, it was a sad day.
Anyone listening has any say at Starbucks, get that oatmeal back so that we do not break up a happy couple over where they get their coffee from.
Oh my gosh, no. That's definitely not the thing. No, but it was so funny because then I just, it gave me all the more reason to have a little bit of more beef with Starbucks, because I originally set aside my beef, but now my beef is back on the table. There it is.
My beef is I just don't like Starbucks coffee. I'm not a huge coffee drinker anyway. Yeah. But to me, Dunkin's way better. And people are listening, going, why? Because I know how like diehard Starbucks people are. So people are cursing me left and right now, but I'm not a big coffee drinker. So that should be your first tell that like you don't have to listen to me, number one, and number two.
Then what's mine? I have like 5 a day. Like,
no, you just have better taste because I do think Dunkin' Donuts tastes better.
Yeah, and it's especially good. I will recommend just a nice Dunkin' cappuccino with oat milk. Just sets it apart, man. Anyway.
What does it taste? What does the oat milk taste like other than creamy? Is that a flavor?
It does. And not to be stupid here, but it tastes slightly like oatmeal, like in the sense of it's a little.
I really like oatmeal, so I bet you I would really like oat milk.
Yeah, like because it kind of. It just complements the coffee too well. There's like this roast process to the coffee that the oat milk just kind of complements.
The oaty, earthy, weedy, whatever that stuff is mixed with the roast of the coffee. I think I could think I would probably get down with some oat milk and a Dunkin' Donuts. That sounds pretty good right now.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna probably go get one. But anyway, so that's kind of that topic, and so we'll just see what happens with
Today's
that.
Radcast brought to you by Oatly and Starbucks. But you can't get them both.
Psych, but you can't get them anymore.
Just kidding.
You can't get brown sugar syrup anymore either right now. Okay. That to say, our last topic for today, this is very peculiar to me for a lot of reasons. One, I am not a parent, but if I was a parent, which is why your opinion is going to be interesting here, how would you feel if, so Facebook's coming out with this new platform, it's like a kid's Instagram, 13 years and younger, I believe was the age range. But no, the interesting thing to note here is there's not going to be ads running to the users on this platform, whatever the name's called. I didn't see a name yet for it, but whatever this platform is going to be called.
Kidgram,
something probably.
Something like that.
Probably. My thing is, though, this is such an impressionable age that we're now just throwing this very high intensity social media life in their face, expecting them to do something with it. Or what is the point of this? Like, because when you look at young teenagers, just from a mental health perspective on social media, it's not looking good. Like it's not great. And my fear is like, you're going to now instill that to a much younger demographic that just doesn't have that social understanding. I'm kind of lost here.
I think kids should be like 16, like the age limit for social media. Like I don't have a problem with, like my kids have smartphones that they're allowed to use certain time, mainly just for watching videos or games or whatever.
Or Roblox or whatever.
We don't let them stay on them all day or anything like that. Yeah, Roblox is like the choice. Buy the stock if you're smart. It'll go up to $200 in the next 3 years. Anyway, so I don't have a problem with a smartphone for gaming, entertainment, communication with us if we at the right time. But social media is just not a place for youth. It just the judgment, the overall atmosphere of just visually being judged by your peers, the comments and all that. I don't know all of the measures around this platform just yet. No ads. Okay, big deal. That's called what Instagram was to begin with.
Yeah, exactly.
But it still was a platform where I don't think kids should be deriving their self-worth and value from.
But I don't know that they understand that separation.
No, they don't. And so I just think I'm going to keep I don't know, like I have an 11-year-old son, 2 9-year-olds, and a 4-year-old, or a 5, sorry, he just turned 5. Nash just turned 5, all boys. And I will keep them off social media, and I make a living off of social media. I believe it has its place and it can be used for good and for sharing information and transparency. I believe in personal branding, but I just don't think that we have found the right balance of its use for kids under the age of 15, because I just don't think, I have no problem with communication. So texting, if balanced and managed with their friends, communication with parents and friends. But the social media aspect is so visually driven on Instagram that it's going to just, I think, create a potential for, it already is being used, for cyberbullying, judgment, and all those things. And I just, I can't speak because I didn't see every feature of this platform. And maybe as this grows or whatever the next steps is, we'll do a follow up on it.
Because Facebook's apparently been pretty quiet about this.
Yeah, I think it's been under the radar. But before I judge it in its totality, this platform alone, I want to know more about what the features are. Because I do think there are things that can come good out of social media. Like, like it, love it, or hate it, Google Classroom, which is not a social media platform, but groups and engagement that is positive and generates a positive outcome or a learning environment. Social media can be used properly for that. But purely an evaluation of self-worth or image or those things are just so ripe for abuse. And, I just can't have it seen at, call it 15 and under, real positive outcomes of just the standard experience of an Instagram. So I wait and see on exactly what their platform is. But, as a parent, I hope that we can evolve to a place where the platforms are more engaging than just self-image.
Say it again. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but and
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
I say that. I'm all about innovation. I'm all about growth. I'm all about technology and using it. So I'm not trying to stall any of that. I just think that kids are not mature or they have not developed enough internal coping devices to manage it. And it's a real shame what it can do in the wrong hands, for our youth. So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, but that's it for today. Those are our topics. A little heavy in some ways, but in other ways,
it's important.
Yeah, big points though to take away. Influencer marketing, it's obtainable in your small and medium-sized business strategy. You don't just have to have the Damelio Sisters to make the strategy feel, realistic or tangible. You're able to do this with the influencers in your community that, are going to bring your brand, in a new light or present it in a new way, and just create that really nice organic conversation that fits into with your brand. So,
yep. And ad spending is back. I think the economy is set for a really big rebound. I think all positive news for the economy and for everybody kind of getting back to some semblance of normal while creating even better normals. So we're looking forward to that and excited about all of the marketing and just overall economy growth. So more to come. You know where to find us. We're at theradcast.com, theradcast.com, and at the.rad.cast on Instagram. You can Google us, you can YouTube us, you can IGTV us, anywhere, everywhere, audio, video, you know where to find us. Always for Reiley Clark, I'm Ryan Alford.